Well, we have talked many times about how it is best to have a diversified retirement plan, and it sounds like a simple strategy. The big question is, how do you know if your investments are truly diverse? Ohio's retirement coach is here to help. Of course, Greg Taylor of Legacy Retirement Group joining me now. So welcome, Greg, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, good to be back. And of course, it's a new year. We start a lot of new things,
Yes.
right? So if a new client, say they come to you, they've got this portfolio, wide range of different stocks, different mutual funds, do you consider that to be a diversified plan?
Well, actually, what I do is I go back to 2008, and I think about the people. They had stocks, they had bonds, they had mutual funds, they had all this mix of things, and they thought they were going to be okay. And as one person who came in the office said to me, he said, "Greg, all that I realized was that the pain was spread around a whole lot of different places." So no, we don't consider that to be truly diversified because it's all within one world of money, and typically that world has risk. And so whether it be the stock market risk or whether it be interest rates rising and bond values dropping, there's risk there, and people need to be aware of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that, though. The pain was just spread around, but we don't want to see that happen again. So what are some of the asset classes that are often ignored by some advisors when they're putting together a plan for their client?
Well, I talked about the world of money being in the market, but there's three worlds of money. So you have banks or credit unions that have what we call our fixed money. They're not paying much interest right now.
Sure.
But it's available. It's there for our needs, our wants, our emergencies, things like that. Then there are insurance companies who offer a wide array of things, but commonly they offer some things that can provide income that's going to last your lifetime. So if you're retired and you're needing income, that world should not be ignored, but it often is, because people think, well, this has worked for me for all these years.
Right.
This mix of stocks, bonds, mutual funds, that's worked while I was accumulating. The problem is this: what works in the accumulation phase isn't necessarily what works so well in the income phase once you retire and you want to start drawing off of that money.
Exactly, and people sometimes don't realize you do have to look at things in different phases, right?
You really do, and
Yeah.
if you treat every phase of your life the same, you're going to get disappointed because it's not going to react the same way.
Okay, all right. Describe a proper asset allocation strategy for someone who is nearing or in retirement. You talk about how things have to be different at that
Yes.
point.
And that's where, when people come in, we sit down with them and take very detailed notes. We want to understand what their goals are, what their concerns are, how much income they're going to need. So once we understand what the income gap is, whether it's $10,000 a year extra they need or $20,000 a year extra that they need, then we create the income plan first, because we believe that's the foundation. If you've got enough income, then you have enough to maintain your lifestyle, because income does equal lifestyle. And once we do that, then we're going to make sure that they have enough money that's liquid, that's available in the bank and the credit union, that's there for the needs, wants, and emergencies. Then we go to the growth. And it's commonly backwards, where let's put everything we can on Wall Street, and whatever we have left we'll work with. But that's really not the safest way to go about planning out a secure retirement.
And we've talked about that. People want that instant gratification. That's
Yes.
why they do that. But especially when you're at that phase of your life, you cannot do that because it's risky.
It really is, and people forget that the market does three things, and two of them aren't good.
Yeah.
They could stay flat for a while or go down. Certainly, we like it when it goes up, and it's kind of like our children, right? When yours is too little yet, but when they are good, you think they're always good.
Yeah, right. I know better than that, and he's only 11 weeks old.
Right.
Yeah. So let's talk about how the allocation should change, and should they, depending on your age. So 40s, 50s, 60s, beyond.
Okay, so when you're in your 20s, 30s, and even 40s, now you're just hoping to get as much growth potential as possible, and you are dollar cost averaging in. So that works out pretty well, which means that you're putting money in on a regular basis, maybe
Right.
every paycheck or whatever. But now, as you get to within 5 years of retirement and then into retirement, now if you are 5 years out and all of a sudden there's a big drop, now you could end up actually retiring with less money than you have right now.
And that's going to hurt.
That's a scary thought, and depressing too.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Greg. Well, thankfully, you're not going away. As always, the start of a new year, a great time as always to get back on track with your finances. So, Greg's sticking around to help us improve our financial plans for 2016.